the tax credit given to companies that blend ethanol into gasoline. Republican Tom Coburn and Democrat Ben Cardin say the tax credit is superfluous or something we don't need because the federal government already requires this action. Time to let the Willis watchdogs out. Clint Greenleaf is the CEO of Greenleaf Book Company in Austin, Texas. Julie Rajinsky is a Democratic strategist, and Paul Westcott is the host of White House Brief. Paul, I love this story. It just makes me laugh. Every story about ethanol is just too much.
Absolutely. Let's keep giving corporate welfare away. Let's keep giving tax dollars, money away.
They don't get enough of our money.
Superfluous money away, out the window. It's really ridiculous. You know, honestly, they have been redistributing our wealth to oil companies, to lots of other companies. It all needs to stop. Ethanol needs to be the first one. It doesn't work, and it pollutes the air even worse than regular gasoline. It's horrible.
Julie?
Wow, I think pigs are flying because we agree more right now. Listen, this will sadly never be changed because the Iowa caucuses are the first in the nation caucuses, and everybody's going to want to run for president, so they're never going to do anything to defend the ethanol producers. This is the most ridiculous subsidy ever. It is duplicative. The GAO says it's duplicative. Time to go, and I agree with you on the oil subsidies, too.
Superfluous. Clint, what do you say?
Man, I'd love to disagree with someone here, but y'all are right. It's $5.4 billion. It's crazy. We got to get rid of this today.
All right. Well, I would try to defend it, but I really can't. Las Vegas-based Allegiant Air is considering offering customers options for tickets. They can either buy a traditional fixed-price ticket or a variable price one. If the price of jet fuel falls by the departure date, customers with a variable ticket would get cash back. But if the price climbs, they would pay more. Clint, are you willing to take that bet?
It's kind of an interesting bet. I guess if you're not getting enough gambling when you go to Vegas, you can kind of gamble on your tickets before you get there. I would probably not do it. I think I'd like a little more certainty, but I guess there's probably a few people who might take him up on it.
What do you say, Julie?
I'd be one of those people. I love it, and I don't even gamble when I go to Vegas. But look, I think this is great. This is the free market at work in the most pure sense, and I love it. I think it's a great idea.
Have we changed you?
I know, no. Hey, I'm still all for, regulation, but just not of this kind of airfare. That's all good. I agree.
Paul?
I'm a political talk show, so I don't know anything about this, so I wouldn't be able to. I would have like a $9,000 ticket from here to like Tampa.
We thought you'd at least read that story.
It would be terrible. I'm sorry. I read the story, but I don't know. I think it would be dangerous. I wouldn't want to do it. It wouldn't be safe for me. I'd be paying more.
Yeah, probably me too.
Yeah.
All right. Oscar-nominated actress Julianne Moore will play former vice presidential nominee Sarah Palin in the upcoming HBO film Game Change. The film is based on Mark Halperin and John Heilman's book about the 2008 presidential election. Paul, what do you say?
Well, I put this out to my audience today on my radio show, and what they said to me was, well, Sarah Palin's so much hotter than her. How does that work? I'm like, wow, they love Palin. So all in all, it's an interesting choice. I got a feeling, though, this movie's going to be a hit piece. So.
I think Julie suddenly disagrees with you.
Well, I disagree with you on the hotness of Julianne Moore. She's a really attractive,
well, she's hot,
woman.
yeah, too.
But
they're both hot.
But I don't know. That's not my bailiwick. But I will say this: I just hope Julianne Moore does a better Alaska accent than she did a Boston accent on 30 Rock. Oh. And I guess Sarah, Tina Fey, I would hope you'd be available because you're so good at it. But I guess you're busy.
Right now, there's a good idea. Clint, what do you say? Tina Fey, a great idea. She's already done it. She knows how to do it. She can really carry it off. She's got the hair.
I think Tina Fey is almost too good. You kind of have to have someone who makes your mind think a little bit. The thing about that book that was interesting was that all three of the women in there portrayed were very, very strong, and they were very well shown in that book, Game Change. And all the men were kind of shown as goofballs. So it'll be really interesting to see if they can kind of carry that all through in the movie as well.
Well, I got to tell you, I think what's going to be interesting to see is how she's portrayed. What's the take? What's the spin? Right. What do you think, Paul?
I think it's going to be negative. I think Julianne Moore's an ultra-liberal activist from Hollywood. She's going to take it that way. And I think she wouldn't have signed on to this unless it was bashing the heck out of Sarah Palin.
Well, I read the book Game Change, and I assume it's going to follow that script. And Sarah Palin doesn't come across well because, let's face it, she didn't come across well.
Well,
So, I think that's
Clint,
how she'll
what
be
do you
portrayed.
say? What do you make of that conversation?
Well, it's a tough one. I mean, you can draw political lines there. My guess is they're not going to make Palin look that good. I think no one's really in the business of making Sarah look good except for Sarah. So I think it's going to be a pretty hard time to actually guess that Hollywood's going to make her look like she's a wonderful person there.
But I like her Alaska show. I like just seeing Alaska and going fishing, and you're looking at me like my head's on fire.
She should stick to that. Come on, keep the reality show life going and stick to that.
I love when she beat that fish with the stick. She had that stick and the giant fish, and she was like beating the heck out of it. Do you think we'd be messed with North Korea and Libya if they saw that? I mean, come on. They see that fish beating. I'm not messing with that.
That's where she lost the woman's vote right there.
No, come on.
All right, guys. Okay, we got to go. Thanks, Clint, Julie, and Paul. We'll be right back with my 2 cents more. Thanks, guys.